Good morning, second grade. We only have two phonograms that are more than one letter that we'll need for our spelling words today. So we'll start by reviewing a couple that are not in our spelling words. All right, the first one is ow-o. What are you going to write? Good, ow-o. Say it while you write it. All right, put your finger under that phonogram you just wrote. What does it say? Good, ow-o. All right, that's our ow-o. So if you didn't have that, write it 3 times, say it while you write it. All right, the next one is sh, zh. Used at the beginning of syllables after the first one. What are you going to write? Good, sh, zh. Used at the beginning of syllables after the first one. Say it while you write it. All right, put your finger under that phonogram you just wrote. What is it? Good, sh, zh. Used at the beginning of syllables after the first one. All right, that's our sh, zh. We haven't practiced it since we learned it. So why don't you go ahead and do it 3 times, even if you had it, and say it while you write it. Sh, zh. Use at the beginning of syllables after the first one. All right, let's do one more. This is another more recent one. We'll do ooh, you, that we do use at the end of English words. What are you going to write? Good, ooh, you, that we do use at the end of English words. Say it while you write it. All right, put your finger under that phonogram you just wrote. What does it say? Good, ooh, you, that we do use at the end of English words. All right, this is our ooh, you, that we do use at the end of English words. So if you didn't have that, write it in. Say it while you write it. All right, those were just some review ones. Now we're going to get to the ones we'll need for our words today. The first one is ed-dit, past tense ending. What are you going to write? Excellent. Ed-dit, past tense ending. Say it while you write it. Put your finger under that phonogram you just wrote. What does it say? Good. Ed-dit, past tense ending. All right. And our last one is the of her. What are you going to write? Good. The of her. Say it while you write it. Put your finger under that phonogram you just wrote. Read it to me. What is it? Good. The of her. All right, that's our the of her. If you didn't have that, write it and say it while you write it. All right, we've got a lot of words today. Let's see how fast we can get through them because we're listening and following directions. All right, the first word is plan. Class, what's the word? Good, plan. I plan to go away for the weekend. Plan. What sounds do you hear in the word plan, class? Good, our sounds are p, o, a, n. Write those sounds and say them while you write them. All right, put your finger under the first phonogram in the word you just wrote. What does it say? Good. O, good. A, n. All right, make sure yours looks like that. All right, let's mark it. All right, good. There's nothing that we need to mark in that word, so we'll just read it. Excellent. All right, class, plan is a 1-1-1 word. That means it has one syllable, ends with one vowel, followed by one consonant. So we're going to add a vowel suffix to our 1-1-1 word. We're going to write the word planned. What's our word? Good, planned. All right, when we want to add a vowel suffix to 1-1-1 word, what do we do to this last consonant before we add that vowel suffix? Excellent work if you said we double it. All right, so we're going to write the word planned. How many syllables? Planned, show me. Good, it's just one syllable. So all our letters are going to be in one syllable. Start by writing the base word plan. Say the sounds while you write them. All right, we've got our base word plan written. What do you need to write now before you add your vowel suffix? Good, we need to write another n because we're doubling this before we add that vowel suffix. Go ahead and write another n after your base word plan. All right, and now we're just going to add our ed-t past tense ending. So go ahead and add that. All right, put your finger under that first phonogram in the word we just wrote. What does it say? Good. O, a, n. All right, so first it's just our base word. But now what do we need to add? Good, we have to add another n. And what's the next sound? Good, the next sound is d. But we're not writing just d by itself, right? What are we going to write? Good, ed-t, past tense ending. All right, so make sure your planned looks like this. Since there was nothing to mark in our base word, we're not going to have to mark any of this. How do we mark this? Show me if you remember. It's silent. It's what we do to every silent letter. We double underline it. How about this one? Good, we need to underline it, but wait, which sound is it saying? Say the three sounds for me. Good, the three sounds are ed, d, t, and it's planned. Good, so I've got to give it both of those things. We know it's not saying its first sound because when it says its first sound, it gets its own syllable. So if it doesn't get its own syllable, it's got to be saying its second or third sound. All right, let's read our word. Great, planned. All right, our next word is planner. What's the word? Good, I got a new planner for the school year. Planner. All right. So once again, we're going to start with our base word, plan. It's still a 1-1-1 word, and our the of her, that's going to turn our verb into a noun, is a vowel suffix. So what are we going to do to the last consonant in our base word before we add our vowel suffix? Good, we need to double it because our base word is a 1-1-1 word. All right, so over here we're going to write planner. How many syllables? Planner, show me good. Remember, this always gets its own syllable, so we've got 2 syllables. The first is our base word plan. Go ahead and write that. Say the sounds while you write them. And do your syllable break at the end. All right, so we've got our first syllable. Make sure you have a syllable mark at the end of that. Before we add our vowel suffix, what do we do to that last consonant in our base word? Excellent. We need to double it. So go ahead and do that. And then you can add your vowel suffix er. Which are we using? Good. The of her. Write that. Say it while you write it. All right, put your finger under the first phonogram in that word you just wrote. What does it say? Good. Oh, excellent. All right, and then we have our syllable mark. What's next? Good. So we've got to double that last consonant before we add a vowel suffix to our 1-1-1 word. And what's the next thing? Good, it's Which Excellent. The of her. All right, make sure your word looks like this. Again, since there wasn't anything that we marked in our base word, we're not going to have to mark anything in this first syllable. How do I mark this? It's silent. Good. And how about this? Of course, we need to underline our the of her. All right, let's read our word. Excellent. Planner. All right, the next word is to, class. What's the word? Good, to. To is a two-way word though, and let me use it in a sentence, sorry. I had 2 eggs for breakfast. 2. That kind of to is a two-way word. To spell it, we have to say twu. Say that with me, twu. I know, right? Isn't that silly? One more time, how do we say to spell it? Good, twu. What sounds do you hear in the word twu? Good. This one's hard for me to not laugh when I say it. Our sounds are t, w, oo. One more time, what are the sounds? Good. Our oo is ah, o, oo. Class, which oo are we going to use? Good. Ah, o, oo. Write it and say it while you write it. All right, put your finger under the first phonogram in the word you just wrote. What does it say? Good. Good. What? And oo, but which oo is it? Good. Ah, o, oo. All right, make sure your word looks like mine. And let's mark it. Does this need a marking? How about this? We don't hear it in the word when we say it to. That means it's silent. What do we do to silent letters? Excellent. Double underline. And how about this? All right, can you say the 3 sounds of this vowel for me? Good. Ah, o, oo. It's saying oo. So we wouldn't underline it. That means it's saying its name. And it's not saying oh, it's saying oo. So it gets a little 3 on top. All right, let's read our word. And when we have a two-way word, remember where we pronounce a letter that we don't hear in the word? We do say that letter. So we're going to say that middle sound. Good. Twu is how we say that to spell it. But how do we say it when we're speaking? Good. We say to. All right. The next word is twin. What's the word? Good. Twin. I do not have a twin. Twin. What sounds do you hear in the word twin? Good. Our sounds are t, w, eh, n. Write those sounds and say them while you write them. All right, put your finger under that first phonogram in the word you just wrote. What does it say? Good. T. Good. What? Eh. Good. All right, make sure yours looks like this. All right, let's see if there's anything to mark. Nope, nothing, so we'll just read our word. Excellent. All right, the next word is twice. What's the word? Good. So twice, let's see. I woke up this morning twice. The first time I went back to bed. Twice. What sounds do you hear in the word twice? Good. The sounds we hear are t, w, I, s. But this I is I-E. What's going to make our I-E say I? Good. Silent final E, job 1. That does one other thing. Our s is k, s. So this is also letting our k, s say s. Say the rule with me about why that is. C followed by E, I, or Y says s. All right, one more time. What are we going to write to spell twice? Which s? Good. K, s, and excellent. Silent final E, job 1. Write those sounds and say them while you write them. All right, put your finger under that first phonogram in the word you just wrote. What does it say? Good. T. Good. W. Good. I. S. Which s is it? Good. K. S. And the last sound, or the last thing we need to write? Good. Silent final E, job 1. Yep, without that it says twick. That's not a word. All right, let's mark our word. Good, we need to underline it. It's saying its name. How about this? Good, it's part of our Silent Final E Job 1 team. And excellent, we're gonna double underline our Silent Final E Job 1. All right, let's read our word, class. Great job. All right, the next word is 12. I see a pattern in our words here. 12. What sounds do you hear in the word 12? Good. Our sounds in 12 one more time are t, w, e, o, v. All right, one more time. Good. But do English words end with V? They don't, do they? What do we have to add? Good. Silent final E, job 2. V or U, think job 2. All right, write the sounds in 12 and say them while you write them. All right. Put your finger under that first phonogram in the word 12. What does it say? Good. T. Good. What? Good. E. O. V. Good. But wait, English words still end with B? Good. Silent final E, job 2. V or U, think job 2. All right, let's mark our word. Good job. If you remember, we need to underline any letter that goes with our silent final E. So if the E is there for a letter, we underline that letter. How about this? Good, we double underline our silent final E. And it's job 2, so it gets a little 2 right next to those 2 underlines. Let's read our word. Good. Our last word is 20. What's the word? Good, 20. There are 20 flowers in the vase. 20. Put your hand on your chin. How many syllables are in 20? Show me. Good, there are 2 syllables. All right, the first syllable is twen. What's the first syllable? Good, twen. What sounds do you hear in the syllable twen? Good, our sounds are t, w, e, n. Go ahead and write that and put your syllable break at the end. All right. So we've got that first syllable. The second syllable is T. What's the second syllable? Good, T. What sounds do you hear in the syllable T? Good, T, E. It's ya, it, I, e. Which E are we using? Good, ya, it, I, e. And what lets our ya, it, I, e say E? All right, you might have said open syllable. We want to make sure we have the whole rule memorized, though, before we just start saying that. So say the less consistent vowel rule with me. I and Y usually say E or I at the end of a syllable, but may say I. All right, we'll come back to that in a second. Go ahead and write that last syllable, T. All right, put your finger under the first phonogram in the word we just wrote. What does it say? Good. T. What? Good. 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 And which E is it? Good. Ya, it, I, E. And what lets our ya, it, I, E say E? Say the rule with me. I and Y usually say E or I at the end of a syllable, but may say I. All right, let's mark our word. Let's see, what are the 3 vowel sounds of this phonogram? All right, ya is its consonant sound. Its vowel sounds are what? Good, I, E, saying its third sound. So put a little 3 right on top. Now let's read our word. All right, nice job, class. So I'll put some videos up later where we'll review these and put them in our notebook.